Have you ever heard someone say, young people today just don't care about the faith anymore? Maybe you've seen it yourself. Empty chairs on a Sunday. Distracted Gen Zers on their phone, not a care in the world. A culture that seems more interested in posting TikTok trends about sourdough starters than truth. That's the picture we're often given about Gen Z, my generation, the generation born roughly between 1997 and 2012. But as I started digging deeper into my research, I realized something surprising, maybe even hopeful. Gen Z isn't rejecting God, they're rediscovering Him in new ways. According to the Barna Group, while weekly church attendance among Gen Z has declined, a large percentage of this generation remains deeply spiritually curious. Barna's 2023 research found that nearly 3 out of 4 Gen Zers want to learn more about who Jesus truly is. That tells me we have something powerful here. It's not that this generation has given up faith. They've given up on inauthentic faith. Barna's study describes Gen Z as valuing authenticity over appearance, relationship over religion, and truth over tradition. So maybe what we're seeing isn't a spiritual decline. Maybe what we're seeing is a spiritual reformation. A clear example of this comes from Christianity Today's coverage of Asbury University's revival in early 2023. It started off as a normal chapel service on a Wednesday morning. A few students stayed after to pray. Then more came. And suddenly, what was supposed to be a 45-minute service turned into a 16-day, continuous, transformational worship gathering that drew thousands of students from across the country. There were no celebrity preachers, no professional worship teams, no flashy stage setups, no Brandon Lake breathing in artificial fog from fog machines. No, there was just young adults. They were praying, repenting, and worshiping together. And Christianity Today called it a movement marked not by hype, but by hunger. Now, if that's not the Bible, I don't know what is. It might not come in the form we expect, but in the form that this generation needs right now. The data from Barna and the stories from Christianity Today tell the same truths from two sides. God is still moving, just in unexpected places. Maybe revival doesn't look like crowded pews on a Sunday anymore after a huge life event happens. Maybe it looks like college students gathering in a dorm room for prayer, or friends holding Bible studies in coffee shops, or believers using social media to share scriptures instead of posting what they had for dinner last night. Gen Z wants something real, something worth giving their lives to. And research shows they're not afraid to ask the hard questions, and they're not afraid to tell the blunt truths to find it. So what can we take away from this? We shouldn't assume that a different expression of faith means the death of faith. The heart of Gen Z's spiritual revival isn't rebellion, it is renewal. It's a generation that's tired of pretending and ready to pursue God for who He truly is. And maybe the question we should be asking isn't what is wrong with Gen Z? Why do they want to take away our hymns? Why do they want to burn down the organ? Why do they want to get rid of the tradition that the American church has set itself upon? Maybe it's what can we learn from their spiritual hunger? Because according to the Barna Group and Christianity Today, this generation is showing us something timeless. Eventually, when everything goes away, trends, titles, technology, people are still going to be drawn to the truth. And Jesus is still drawing hearts, one person at a time. Matt Redman once wrote a song called Heart of Worship. And he says this in the verse: I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. Gen Z is what I like to call the outspoken generation. And very much like Matt Redman, we need to get out of rituals, we need to get out of the traditions, and we need to get back in to the heart of worship. So our generation can truly see who God the Father is. Thank you for spending time for watching this presentation.